Welcome to the new sound of Rockland. RocklandWorldRadio.com. Exciting online TV and radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Welcome to the new sound of Rockland. RocklandWorldRadio.com. Exciting online TV and radio. Watch and listen to what you've been missing. Broadcasting independent music, art, and culture. From the world of pop to poetry, classical to cutting edge. Movies, comedy, jazz, jams, rock and roll baby, interviews, information, and event listings. Join the revolution. It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
Welcome to Dialogues with Dan, heard on Rockland World Radio every Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check out the archives located on Dialogues with Dan's program page that you can access via the menu bar. And now the host of Dialogues with Dan, Mr. Dan Windheim.
Thanks, Richard. Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. The weather here in New York, hot, beautiful, and we're loving it. Tonight, I have a live interview. I'm speaking with Jeffrey Friedberg from Music for Life is the name of his business, I believe. I'd like to introduce Jeffrey Friedberg. Hi, Jeffrey.
How you doing, Dan?
Oh, very good, thanks.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, can we start by you, Jeffrey, telling us how you got involved in music therapy, and what is music therapy?
Sure. Well, I got involved with music. I've always loved music. I remember in the end of third grade when the music teacher demonstrated all the instruments, and when she played the saxophone, I was hooked. I remember that moment. I don't remember much from third grade, but I remember that. And I started studying saxophone and guitar and piano. I played in bands in high school. And in high school, my mother passed away. And music really got me through that. Being involved with music, having an instrument to practice, having friends to play with.
Sure.
It was really meaningful to me. So after high school, I went to become a professional saxophone player, a jazz saxophone player. And
Nice.
I did that for a number of years.
Where was this? Where did you grow up, and where did you move and continue?
Sure. I grew up on the Upper West Side of Manhattan back in the day. And there was a lot of live music, jazz and rock. And I went to study saxophone at the University of Miami in Florida.
Nice.
Yes, beautiful.
And music therapy, what is it per se?
Well, I ended up leaving University of Miami, and I went to University of Vermont, where I finished my early studies, and I studied psychology, and I wrote a paper on music therapy. We had a lot of latitude in what we could write about, and I loved music, and I was studying psychology, and I just found this field in the books of music therapy, and I ended up getting a master's degree in music therapy from NYU, and I really learned as I went on that music therapy is the use of music to help with a variety of challenges. So anything that you might need therapy for, whether it's physical or emotional or cognitive, whether it's speech therapy, whether it's we were talking earlier, whether it's dementia or Alzheimer's, it's the use of music to help learn life skills.
Yes, and you find music is a key way that helps people either disabled or injured somehow.
I think there's a reason we have so many things in our life. I think music is something that historically, if you go back hundreds of years, was always part of our healing ceremonies, whether spiritual ceremonies, music and medicine, with the shaman. It used to be more part of our healing. So I think we've gotten away, whether it's family sing-alongs, families making music together.
Yes.
Music has always been a way for us to connect and maintain connections, build relationships. We've gotten away from it a little bit, that it's become such a big business, but I think there's so much about music. So I don't know if it's something new we're developing or connecting with something that we used to do more of.
Yes. So, Music for Life is the name of your business?
Yes, it's called Music for Life Creative Arts Therapy.
Yes. And where is it located?
Located right here in Nyack on 117 Depew Ave.
Yes.
I have a beautiful 550 square foot studio, very well air conditioned, and it's a beautiful studio.
Oh, nice. And your website or phone number? A website?
Sure.
Phone number?
Music for Life. That's musicforlife.co. It's just .co. .com was taken, so I .co.
Yes.
And the phone number is 845-642-0859. 845-642-0859.
Thanks.
Sure.
And maybe you could share who are some of your clients. Maybe, of course, not by name, but their situations.
Well, what's interesting is I've been a music therapist for over 20 years, and I've worked in psychiatric hospitals, I've worked in outpatient clinics, I've worked in preschools and elementary schools and high schools, and I opened Music for Life about 1.5 years ago. So it's my own studio, my own space, and I really was open to whatever the need in the community was, and I wasn't exactly sure who would respond. And having worked with children a lot, performing for children with the Bossy Frog Band, I expected to get a lot of calls to work with children, but from children 18 months old with developmental delays to adults who are having difficulties managing different situations, to couples coming to me for wanting to explore making music together in enhancing their relationships. Really, so children, teens, adults. I'm doing a 10-week program for Clarkstown Parks and Recreation with healthy seniors living in the community. It's a sing-along group. So it's a wide range of people. Very interesting.
What actually goes on at these sessions?
It's different for different people. So for some, let's say it's a child who the goals are to help them with speech therapy, to help them use their language, whether it's speech fluency, where they're using more words through singing. So we might work on a variety of singing games with them. For some people, it's I work with some children who maybe there's a difficult life situation, maybe a death in the family or a separation or divorce. So it's helping them build some self-confidence, giving them an outlet to express themselves. The beautiful thing about music is you don't have to put your feelings into words to express it. Words can be challenging to find the right word or just to feel comfortable talking about it, but you can really express yourself with music. Without it, you can play your feelings without having to put them into words.
Yes. And you were nice enough to bring some of your instruments. I'd like you, maybe if you could share some of the instruments.
I play a lot of instruments, and in my studio I have a drum set, I have keyboards, guitar, banjo, ukuleles. I didn't bring all of those, but I did bring my guitar.
Yeah.
And I do teach guitar, so I might be working with somebody teaching them guitar, or I might be accompanying them with my guitar. Today I did an interesting group. We started a teen rock group for teens and young adults with special needs. And we had 3 young men from 16 to 24 years old, a bass player, a drummer, and a guitar player. And they were learning. So I used my guitar kind of to help show them things, and also just to sort of help keep the beat sometimes. And they all work together, learning how to play music together. And it's a great way to learn social skills, that you don't want to play too loud, you don't want to play too softly, how to give feedback to the, one person was working on something and the drummer was playing when they were trying to figure something out, and we had to take a second to talk about how do you give feedback to another musician in a way that's both respectful, but also you want to be able to express yourself. So I also brought some tone bars, which are like a xylophone, and I was wondering if you could play the tone bars, I'll play the guitar and show you. One technique in music therapy is improvisation, and it's really spontaneous song making. So you want to pick up that stick there? Yeah, there we go. So I'll accompany you, anything you want to play. Nicely done.
Excellent.
So those are tone bars, and they look like a piano. They have the white keys and the black keys, but each note comes out. So I'll show you something really interesting about these. I've been running a social skills group for children in kindergarten through 2nd grade, and they're learning how to work together and how to listen to each other. So I might give each child one tone bar.
Yes.
So each child has one, and we can do a variety of games. So they can just hold it like this, and they each have a different colored dot depending on the note, and the letter name of the note is also on the bottom. And
nice.
And we'll do something. Maybe one child is the conductor, and they get to say go and stop, and they have to practice saying go and stop in a way that everybody can hear them. They don't want to be too loud that they scare people.
Sure.
They don't want to be too soft where their friends can't hear them.
Right.
So they can be the conductor, or they can go around and point to each other and create their own melodies. So everybody has their own tone bar and has to play only when they're pointed to. And for many kids, it's very hard to wait holding something like this. So
like you said, it's good for coordination, working with others, and like having like a group dynamic.
Yeah, you really can hear the group dynamic. You don't have to, you don't have to be an expert to hear when people are listening to each other, when they're responding respectfully to each other in the music. You can really hear right away how the music sounds.
Yes,
and it's great. There's a lot of recent research on music, and what they're showing with the brain scans with music, there's so many different aspects of music. Like you said, there's listening to music, there's singing, there's playing instruments, there's moving and dancing to the music. There's watching music. If you're watching somebody perform, each of these activities is a different part of your brain that is active. So it's this whole brain activity. So that whatever your challenge is, music is really. It has a way of sort of bypassing if you have some sort of brain injury or some sort of neurological challenge, and really using all parts of your brain. It's great. So you can really find different ways around different challenges.
And I understand that the way you have cameras or photography, like you could record music and pass it down generations. Like you could, like instead of photographs, you could pass recordings.
Right, right. And in the studio, I have set up I have a beautiful computer, and we do digital recordings, so the kids can make recordings of their music. I can email it to them, or they can bring in a flash drive, and they can really keep a record of their music.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So maybe you could share. You must know about some major studies in music, like the effects that music has. Do you know of any?
Yeah, there's a national association, the American Music Therapy Association, and they have a list of all the recent research that's been done in music. There's some very interesting research that's been done with Parkinson's disease lately to help people regain some physical functioning and coordination, where people might lose the ability to walk steady in a steady way. They call it rhythmic entrainment. So training people to walk to a beat in music helps them learn how to regain some of their physical deficits.
Really?
There's a lot going on.
Never heard that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, Jeffrey, I took some info off your tabs on your website. Like, what is therapeutic music lessons?
Therapeutic music lessons would be more of a traditional music lesson format, but we can still work on the therapy goals. So if whether it's, let's say it's a physical challenge, we can do an adaptive music lesson to work around a physical challenge, whether adapting how you approach the instrument or even adapting the instrument. They have certain like wristbands where people who have difficulty grasping and they're not able to regain that functioning, where the mallets can be attached. It's also for some people where the traditional talk therapy, a lot of kids where talk therapy is very challenging to put into words or intimidating, and we might work in through a music lesson format, but it's still a supportive counseling type of relationship to help them with similar goals.
And you also have social skills music groups?
I am offering those now, yes. They're very exciting, where we, like I was talking about, some of the conducting games, and they learn how to work together. And I also have a CD I made of 16 songs. I made it with a psychologist who wrote a book on social skills training. And we wrote 16 songs to teach social skills.
Wow.
So the songs are about, the benefit of waiting for your turn and accepting no, and how to talk about sensitive topics and teasing, and talking about how to calm down and label your feelings. So yeah, we use a lot of those songs.
Very interesting. And of course, you do traditional music lessons.
I also offer traditional music lessons, yes.
In the instruments you mentioned?
Yeah, I teach guitar, piano, drums, saxophone. I have banjo. I love banjo. I play a lot of banjo, and I have a banjo student. It's ukulele. I also do early childhood classes, and we have 14 ukuleles. And we get a group of 1 to 5-year-olds strumming on their ukuleles, 14 of them at the same time. Very exciting.
Yeah, that's excellent. So at this time, you mentioned the Bossy Frog Band. Now, could you maybe share about when it began, what is it, who's in it, and where you play?
I started the Bossy Frog Band a long time ago. 1999, I released my first CD called The Bossy Frog. And I I was working as a music therapy for Arc of Rockland, right here in Rockland.
Yes.
And people started asking me if I would perform at their child's birthday party, or at their library. And little by little, I formed a band. I've had different musicians in it over the years. Right now we have a fiddler who hula hoops when she fiddles.
Yes.
A bass player. And I have a costume character frog, and a costume character monkey, and a costume character crab in the show. And we do 150 shows a year in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Performing arts centers, libraries, schools. We were just this morning at Laurel Plains Elementary School at their kindergarten orientation. We perform anywhere and everywhere. Yeah.
Are you competing with SpongeBob?
I don't look at us as competing with anybody. You know what? There's so much great stuff for kids, but what I like about what we do is that we're local.
Yes.
And we really put our heart and soul into everything we do. And we're approachable, and we're not like a big, slick act where, the kids see the show and then it's done and they have to sit, a mile away from the stage, and it's, thousands of people, and it's expensive. What we do is very accessible, and really, I get a real joy in inspiring kids that I get many emails from parents asking me where they can find a banjo for a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, because their children are inspired and they want to, try what they see, and they want to play a banjo. They want to, they put on their own Bossy Frog shows.
Nice.
So it's a lot of fun. I look at us as sort of not in competition with the big acts, but we're really we're different in that we're a little more accessible.
Nice.
The kids can talk to us after the show. The parents can email me for information on music for their kids.
Yeah, could you mention upcoming gigs?
Well, this time of year we're very busy. This Saturday we'll be at the Darien Nature Center up in Darien, Connecticut. Over the next month there's so many shows. We'll be at the Nyack Farmers Market on, I think, June 11th. Check our website, bossyfrog.com. We have a show tab where we have a calendar. We'll be up in Sharon, Connecticut for their Audubon Society. We'll be at for the National Park Service at Floyd Bennett Field, Gateway National Park, down in Brooklyn in June. In Greenwich, Connecticut, we're doing their Touch a Truck event. We're all over the place.
Excellent.
Very busy.
And you said you started 99?
99 is when I released the first Bossy Frog CD.
Yes.
And since then, I've released 8 CDs.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very exciting. The last one we recorded right here in Nyack at OK Records, wonderful recording studio. I'll give them a plug. Beautiful recording studio. Greg Tallenfeld, the owner and engineer, is wonderful to work with. And it was called 15 Songs That Every Kid Should Know and Will Love. And it won a Parent Choice Award. We're very
super.
Excited. Yeah, it was very
Congratulations. Yes, in your school or your business, you have other workers, or are you solo worker?
It's just me.
Oh,
and
not just you.
It's just
you.
Me.
It's you.
I started Music for Life Creative Arts Therapy a year and a half ago, not really knowing how it would go, and already I'm extremely busy there, and I teach elementary school music up at Rockland Country Day School through my studio. So I do sessions in the morning. I go up there in the afternoon, teach music, and then I come back in the afternoon, evening, back to my office. So it's gotten to the point where I could see in the future, I'd love to bring what we do to other schools and agencies and programs. So I could see hiring people. Right now, it's me.
Excellent.
And I did Brock. When you're ready, I brought a box of other instruments I can show you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You tell me when you're ready.
Well, maybe we'll finish. Talk a little more. Then to end the show, you could do your thing.
Sure.
Yes. I wanted to ask you about some of your successes. You've had successes that you could speak about?
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how different each session is. And when you were asking me before to talk a little bit about what music therapy is, and it's really different for different people. I had a little girl who was 4 years old and was having some language challenges and had speech therapy, but the parents knew that the child loved music and thought that she loved to sing, that the music therapy might help in addition to the speech therapy. And she started the sessions maybe singing, she would sing and string together, maybe 3 or 4 words at a time. And I don't know, maybe 5-6 months later, she would speak in sentences of 12, 13 words at a time. And I don't take credit for that because she had a lot going on therapeutically in her life, but I think it did help her. It gave her an opportunity to practice, a place to do something that she loved, and I would help structure it so that she would be challenged to use more and more words in different ways. So that was very exciting.
Oh, yes. Sounds.
I have a couple of teenagers where there's some challenges in the family, and to really see them build up some self-confidence through learning an instrument, it's really exciting to see them really, to find a place where they feel, and an activity that they feel very comfortable with, that they can build some confidence and they can learn. And then once they start learning, it brings them in contact with other kids where they start forming their own bands.
Yes.
So it really, for me, it's exciting when I see it starting to branch out into other areas for these. It's not just happening within, my studio, but they're taking what they're learning and applying it. It's very exciting.
Yes. Do you actually work with maybe local schools, go into the schools and show them what you're doing and abundance?
I don't do that. I worked in different schools as a music therapist.
Yes.
But not with Music for Life, not recently. But again, that's something I'm open to.
Oh, excellent. And again, people can contact you. Give the name. Please
contact me directly. The website is musicforlife.co, musicforlife.co. And the phone number is 845-642-0859, 642-0859. That's my cell phone. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And if I'm not the right person, I'm happy to, direct you into the right person. What I love is that I'm making contact with lots of professionals locally, and everybody's interested in helping people find the right fit.
Yes. Yeah. Did you connect with, her name escapes me, but she's working, getting a skate park at the Memorial Park, and she's had, I believe, she's had fundraisers and awareness days. Did you partner with them?
I did not, but that was very impressive what they were able to do with that.
Yes. Yeah. I know they had some local bands that worked with them on raising funds.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I do a lot. The the Relay for Life. I've done a lot of music for them, for the American Cancer Society, which I guess the past few years has been at RCC. And also the Walk Now for Autism, I do a lot for them. Wow. And they're a wonderful organization, and Bossy Frog and I have performed many a time. We'll be in October. We'll be back at RCC at the Walk. Yeah.
Excellent. So thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Maybe we could go out you playing your great instruments.
Sure. Well, I brought some stuff from the studio. You might not know it, that everybody has musical instruments right in their kitchen. I brought some spoons. Spoons are a fun thing to play. You can play the spoons. A lot of people do like that.
Yeah.
I brought a bag of spoons. You didn't know that you had musical instruments at home. And a friend of mine went to Brazil and brought back one of these.
Oh.
Do you know what this is called?
Actually, I don't.
A go-go bells. A go-go. There you go. Yeah, all right. Do a little samba. Woo! All right. Show you some other things we have.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, don't you have a dance?
Yeah, with the castanets, we need to do a little flamenco dance.
Some sexy dancers. Dance. Oh, very cool.
These are the
So
eggs.
maybe I'll do these.
You want to do those? And our rhythm sticks.
Oh, excellent.
So yeah, I brought I didn't bring the drum set, but I brought everything but the drum set. And our clave sticks.
Oh. I see
the tambourine, alright.
I feel like the girl from the Portrait family.
Yes.
What was her name? Trace?
Lori Partridge? Is that?
Oh, it's the little girl. Do you sing? Well, everyone, thank you for joining us, Jeffrey Friedberg, on Dialogues with Dan. Have a great week. Peace.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.